Okay, the purpose of this video is to show you how to convert between fractions, decimals, and percents. I'm going to do it on this paper, percents to decimals, decimals to percents. And I'm going to start with this, and I'll show you, and I'll blow this up as I do it. So when we do percents to decimals, we have three categories. You have percents that are less than 1, percents between 1 and 99%, and percents greater than 100%. So an example here would be 0.06%. I know that's a percent less than 1 because it has a decimal and a percent sign. This is between 1 and 99 because it's just plain 38%. This is greater than 100, 175%. So the first kind I'm going to show you is a percent less than 1. And you can see over here on the computer, here is an example, 0.08%. Notice it has a decimal and a percent, 0.0803%. Those are all percents less than 1. There's no whole number. So how do we convert it? Let me show you right here. So notice in the instructions, you always divide the percent by 100. So I take literally 0.08 and I divide it by 100 with my calculator. 0.08 divided by 100. And you can see it tells me syntax error. 0.08 divided by 100. And you can see, wait, clear this all out. 0.08 divided by 100. 0.00. Now it is a number. Okay, no longer has a decimal sign and a percent, but only a percent, a decimal. I've gotten rid of that. Okay. Now an example between 1 and 99, I take the actual number, 73, I divide it by 100. I can use my calculator, but it's going to come out to 0.73. It's going to, decimals here, it's going to move it 2 spots to the left. The third example is when you have a value greater than 100. So here I have 243%. So I take 243, I divide it by 100. 243 divided by 100 is 2.43. That is now a decimal that you can use. And the purpose of converting a percent to a decimal, this is now what I would use to solve problems to find the percent of a number. I would use that decimal. Okay, so I just went through all three kinds. Without I want to go back into there and show you. Don't go away yet, guys. Get back to this here. So that was the type of problem right there of less than 1. I went through all of them. And then I showed you percents to decimals, regular. So between 1 and 99, that's this kind. You'll just see like regular percentage. There's greater than 100%. Okay, right there. So those are the converting the percents to decimals. The second kind is taking a decimal to a percent. So notice again, we're going to be multiplying by 100. You take the decimal, you multiply it by 100, that's going to give you a percent. The categories here are percents between 1 or decimals between 1 and 9. You have to be careful because of the 0. Decimals between 10 and 99, just like that, and decimals greater than 100. So it would look like this. You would have 0.16 to a percent, 0.12 to a percent, 0.8. I'm trying to see if we have a larger one. We don't have any that are larger. Decimals over 100, right here 3.26, 5.28, and so on and so forth like that. So let me go through how these get converted. Okay, so when we were going percent to decimal, we divided. When we go decimal to percent, we multiply. So I take, this is an example of between 1 and 9, so 0.04. I'm going to take 0.04 times 100, and when I use my calculator, it's going to come out to 4%. Now notice, the percent sign replaces the decimal. Here, 0.47 times 100. When I multiply it out on the calculator, it's going to be 47%. Decimal is replaced by the percent sign. 3.86, I'm always multiplying it times 100. Now it is 386%. That decimal is replaced. This 3 right here represents 300. It's greater than 1. Okay? And the last type of problem that I want to show you that is in this series is converting a regular percent to a fraction. So it would have something like this, 85% to a fraction. %, 65%. So 65%, and we're going to convert it to a fraction. So what I do is, I'm going to remember, it's always out of 100. Now the problem is the computer will not accept that, so we can use our calculator. Take our calculator, I turn it on. We use the N over D, this button right here. I'm going to put 65 in the numerator, 100 in the denominator. I'm going to arrow out of it. See, sometimes it's going to arrow out. And then I'm going to hit simplify until there's no arrow. So 13 over 20. Okay. What I've done is divided them both by 5, but the calculator did it for me. So this is a percent to a fraction. Okay, so go back and watch this video as many times as you need to.